back with another unboxing video. This time it is the Gears of War board game. If you're not familiar with Gears, it's a video game from Xbox 360. They now have the third one out, and the story is pretty much you've got humans that are led by what's called the Cog Army facing off against the Locust, which is like a race of creatures that have emerged from underground and are bent on destroying the human population. So this is published by Fantasy Flight Games, and we're going to break into it here and see how awesome it is. It's a co-op game, 1 to 4 players. Some people will draw some comparisons to the Doom board game. A little bit different from what I've read so far. This takes advantage of the cover system, just like the Gears of War video game, which is not really a run around and shoot everybody game. A little bit more tactical, a little bit more methodical in how you play. Alright. So we've got instruction manual, which is always incredibly colorful from Fantasy Flight. One of the things I've read is that you need to read it cover to cover because some of the rules are actually mentioned in the examples. So it's important to read everything that you can find in there so that you're playing the game correctly. We've got, looks like just a template for putting some cards. Please note, it's a bag. Fantasy Flight has included a bag in its game box. Very surprising. This appears to be all the cardboard stuff. So we've got, here we've got all of our tokens. We've got some of the map, more of the map. And the way the maps work is you've got segments, which are these lines here of the different segments. You've got areas that you can be putting your guys into cover, and then you're wondering, well, what am I fighting against? Well, you're fighting against the Locust, and the Locust is driven by a deck of cards, so there's sort of an artificial intelligence playing along as you're playing. Since it's 1 to 4 players, you can play by yourself, or you can play with a couple friends. Always recommend playing with a couple friends. More bags. What in the world has gone on with Fantasy Flight? I do not have to go buy bags for all of my pieces, because they come with bags. I got bags for the dice. Got a couple different types of dice. You've got, looks like wounds, single wounds, double wounds. You've got blanks. Then you've got the Omen, which is kind of what Gears of War is known for. That's their logo. And then the red dice appear to be some sort of a healing dice. Got a single heal, maybe a double heal. I'm guessing on that, so forgive me if you know what this is and I'm completely missing it. So you got multiple dice, good solid feel to them. Don't feel like they're going to have any issues. A couple little plastic holders probably for holding cards. You've got the small cards. These, I believe, are the artificial intelligence cards. So that's going to be showing you, maybe not, could be incorrect on that. Lots of different cards though, for different locations. Looks like you've got some help cards, so you can give those to each of your players. Player turn on one side, and then on the other side you've got the reaction options. And then finally you've got full hand. And this is how you actually will play. On your turn you're going to be playing one of these cards to control your character. So you'll have a choice of cards similar in some ways to Memoir 44 or Battle Lore, where you'll play a card to be able to move your units. You will be playing cards to move your character around, and as you take hit points you cannot hold as many cards in your hand, so losing life means you lose options. And then I would assume inside of here, yes, we have all of our figures. So open that up. So, the red guys represent the 4 good guys. And you'll notice, and this was one of the negatives that I read in some of the reviews, was that with the exception of this guy over here, these guys look pretty similar. So it's sometimes difficult to remember which guy is you and which guy is your teammate. Big recommendation on that: paint the bases, mark the bases, paint the guys differently. Do something to be able to show some difference between them, and then you don't have to have that worry. Plus, these things, they just beg to be painted. You should paint them anyway. On the bad guy front, you've got wretches, kind of like the teeny tiny throwaway guys. There's lots of them. They come at you in huge numbers. You've got a locust drone, I believe. You've got Theron guard. You've got a real big fella. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's a boomer. You've got these creatures, which I can't remember their names, but in the game they're healers usually. Tickers, and then the really, really big guy. Just put him down in front of everybody, the Berserker. So you're facing off against all of these different creatures, hoping to survive, hoping to make it out alive. Multiple missions. Can't recall. I believe there might be 7, 5. According to this, there's just one of many missions. There's also a horde mode, which, if you're familiar with the video game, horde mode's pretty cool. Horde mode is you against wave after wave after wave of bad guy. How many waves can you survive? You survived 5 this time. Can you survive 7 next time? It's just a way to kind of test your mettle against the AI to see how well you are able to compete. And that, for the most part, is Gears of War. So thanks for joining us. Looking forward to playing this. If you want to try it out, I'll be at Big Robot Games to play it.
Thank you.